Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new video. Now today I'm going to do something a bit different. In the midst of this pandemic, I figured I would create this website in Hack CMS, which is a content management system, in order to educate those about the coronavirus and how you can prevent this disease from spreading or prevent it from affecting you and your family members. So basically, COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, is an infectious viral disease that mainly targets the human respiratory system. Now, as of March 2020, there are over 190 countries that are affected by this. The cases of those infected has been increasing exponentially in some countries like Italy, for example. And here in the United States, there are a couple of tens of thousand cases happening. And I won't be surprised if that number continues to grow in April or May or the coming next few months. But moving on, this is a how a virus looks like. It has a coating of proteins and fat. Inside a virus contains the cellular structures like the nucleus and some DNA material. And because of the fatty substances uh, that is sticking out on the surface of uh, this virus can easily be stick into surfaces like metal, plastic, and even your hands, which is why it's important to wash your hands at this time to prevent the spread from increasing. But moving on to the symptoms, a person can show symptoms in 1 to 14 days upon making contact with this virus. Some of the early symptoms include dry cough. So moving down here, basically how this process works is that once this virus enters into your body, now let's say you touch your eyes or you lick your hands or something like that, this virus will travel all the way down to your respiratory system here, notably your lungs. And what this would do is that it will invade these lung cells in which they are protected by these hair-like particles. You see here known as the cilia. Now these hair-like particles basically sits on top of your lung cells in order to clear the area of mucus and bacteria. So basically, once this virus attacks the cilia, it will go into the lung cells, damage it, render it useless, and from there it'll just shut off more and more of your lung cells. And as that is happening, there will be a lot of buildup going on, which is why one of the main symptoms you'll experience with this virus is dry cough. Now, if your immune system is strong, your body can be able to fight it off without it getting too serious. However, let's say you have a compromised immune system or you have some pre existing condition, it will be very, very hard for your immune system to fight this thing off. And most likely, you will develop even more serious symptoms like shortness of breath, fever, tiredness, and even headaches. I have a video attached to this website here, which would go deeper into detail. But the main takeaway here is that this virus is worse for older people, and according to which is according to the World Health Organization, and that this virus could be spread if it comes in contact with your eyes, nose, or mouth. Uh, so currently there is no vaccine out there that would treat the coronavirus, and people who are critically ill should seek intensive care units. If you are feeling symptoms, it's wise to just take a rest, drink plenty of fluids to flush down all those toxins that may build up from your lungs. Taking a hot shower could also help ease your symptoms, and definitely you should wash your hands with soap and water to prevent this virus because the soap helps break down the fatty coating I mentioned in the virus. It usually takes about 20 seconds for that virus to be broken down. So do whatever it takes to clean those hands because these safety measures can definitely go a long way. Oh, and also stay home. But in relation To preventing this virus from spreading, it is important to practice something called social distancing, uh, which is the action of avoiding uh, any physical contact of another person for generally around 6 feet. And the purpose of this is to essentially flatten the curve. And uh, the purpose of this is just to prevent a huge increase of cases in a short amount of time. So if there are a lot of cases in a short amount of time, the hospitals and any health services would not be able to treat all of those patients in a timely manner. And as a result, people cannot get treatment and they're more likely to die. And one last thing, I found this a very cool website that illustrates how the the number of cases vary from state to state in the United States, depending on the approach each state takes in order to stop the spread. So basically, I'm from New York, so I'm going to visit New York here. And over here, what you're seeing is a graph that shows the number of hospitalizations given a certain time frame. So basically, here in New York, we started to shut everything down, and well, basically, the governor declared this virus as a national. Well, yeah, he declared as a statewide emergency, probably around like last week. But I think like from there it's still a bit too late. There are like a lot of cases increasing, but basically this is the number of hospitalizations that would occur if no action has been taken. So as you can see here, that number just skyrockets, and over here you see the black line, which uh, represents the number of available hospital beds. So basically, as if we don't do any action with this, the number of hospitalizations will increase exponentially. It will just completely overwhelm the health services, and more people cannot get treatment. And as a result of that, a lot of people will die. Another alternative is the practice of social distancing, like I mentioned. Now, luckily, the state of New York has basically shut everything down except the supermarkets and some uh, food services. But with that, the health services will still be overwhelmed, but at least there are a lot fewer hospitalizations compared to if we did not do anything. And another action we could have taken is the 3 months of shelter in place or the Wuhan style lockdown. But basically, what China did in Wuhan was that they were able to shut every down in time and be able to treat the patients in a timely manner. And with that action, you know, they were able to flatten the curve effectively and not overwhelm the health services with that. But oh, and here is basically the date of point of no return for the hospital to not be overloaded. You could check out some other states here in the U.S. Uh, if your governors have not done anything about it, it it is a huge problem because the time to act is now because this virus is just continually spreading. But basically, this concludes the end of my video. I hope you all find this informational, and I'll see you all in the next video. See you. Bye.